The reign of Augustus gave the world new and popular artistic and architectural forms, and great new poems that instantly became the canons of Latin literature. The three most important poets from the reign of Augustus are Ovid, Virgil, and Horace. Ovid was eventually exiled by Augustus, but Virgil and Horace were close friends of Maecenas and the Emperor Augustus. We know that both Horace and Virgil traveled with the emperor at times, and Maecenas gave Horace a farm in recognition of his friendship and loyalty to Augustus. This friendship is quite striking when we remember that Horace fought for Brutus against Octavian at the Battle of Philippi in 42 BCE. After Horace was pardoned by Octavian, he served the new emperor well by poetically celebrating him and his moral character. Horace first published 2 books of satirical poetry in the 30s BCE, and then 3 books of odes or short lyric poetry in the 20s BCE. A 4th book of odes was published about a decade later. The 4 books of Horace's odes were carefully planned and composed collections of short poems. The first poem of his first book includes a dedication of the poems to Maecenas, the advisor of Augustus and patron of Horace, and explains his poetic project. After Horace lists other people's preferred ways of spending their lives, Horace says that he seeks to spend his life writing great lyric poetry that will give him great fame and success. He connects his own poetic project to the work of the archaic Greek lyric poets, especially Alcaeus and Sappho, who served as Horace's poetic models. These poets from the 7th and 6th centuries BCE wrote short poems about a variety of topics to be performed by one singer or a chorus of singers, either at a religious festival or elite dinner party, sometimes to the accompaniment of music. Sometimes they mocked other people, sometimes they praised athletic victors or the gods, sometimes they encouraged people to fight well in war. Sometimes they expressed their love and fondness for another man or woman. The archaic Greek lyric poets inspired many Hellenistic poets of the 4th, 3rd, and 2nd centuries BCE, especially Callimachus, who sought to write very short, very carefully crafted poetry. This Hellenistic poetry, however, was to be read in a book, not performed to an audience, or at a religious festival. Both these Hellenistic lyric poets and the earlier archaic lyric poets served as models for Horace's odes, which were also very literary constructions, not meant for performance. The rest of Horace's odes are about a variety of topics. Among other things, he wrote about love affairs, farewell poetry to friends, poetry welcoming other friends who returned home from a journey, poems praising other friends, poems consoling other friends, and poems about Horace's good fortune. Several times, Horace celebrates his farm from Maecenas and his near escape from death when a tree almost fell on him. From one poem to the next, the reader is transported to new, specific occasions at which the poet addresses a new person. The poet seeks to influence his addressee, often to have a more enjoyable time or to teach a moral lesson. In many ways, Horace's odes are meant to be a diverse collection of poetry. The first 6 poems of Book 3, however, are all linked together. These poems, which scholars call the Roman Odes, all address the Roman people collectively, and each presents a traditional Roman moral theme.